Hello and welcome to another video. Today is June the 18th, so I'm reviewing my June the 18th arcs. But do I wish this video came out last week? Yes. Did it? No. So today I'm talking about The Poison Thread by Laura Purcell, and I enjoyed this quite a bit. So I'm going to start by reading you the back of the book so you can get a taste of what the plot actually is before I start rambling on about what I liked about the book. Dorothea Truelove is a young, wealthy, and beautiful. Ruth Butterham is young, poor, and awaiting trial for murder. When Dorothea's charitable work brings her to Oakgate Prison, she is delighted by the chance to explore her fascination with phrenology and testing her hypothesis that the shape of a person's skull can cast light on their darkest crimes. But when she meets Ruth, she is faced with another strange idea, that it is possible to kill with just a needle and thread. The story Ruth has to tell of bitterness and betrayal, of death and dresses, will shake Dorothea's belief in rationality and the power of redemption. Can Ruth be trusted? Is she mad, or is she a murderer? For fans of Shirley Jackson, The Poison Thread is a spine-tingling, sinister read about the evil that lurks behind a facade of innocence. So, when I read the back of this, Shirley Jackson was not who I thought about. I thought about Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. Canadian author, British author, and the premise of this book is quite similar, except for the phrenology and the magic. And I really enjoyed it. It took me a while to read because I was reading it only at work because it's an arc that I got at work. For those of you who don't know, I work at Chapters Indigo. Thank you, Chapters, for giving me this arc, and thank you, Penguin, for sending this arc to my store. Like, it was a book that I thought about when I wasn't reading it. It switches back and forth between Dorothea's perspective and Ruth's perspective. In Ruth's perspective, you mostly just hear her story, her background, what she grew up with, and why she ended up where she was. There is a lot of things going on in that story. There's a lot of things that might be painful to read in that as well. She works in what essentially is a sweatshop for a while in, I think it's Victorian England, but don't quote me on that. And when you hear Dorothea's part, you hear about her thoughts about Ruth and this police officer that she's in love with and her father and some poison and stuff too. I thought this was great. I really liked how it added in this little bit of a magical element. I thought that was an interesting take on the story, and it kind of threw you through a loop too, because it's like, oh, there was some is it, isn't it sort of things going on in here as well, which of course I loved. But yeah, and the ending, whew, the last like 50 pages were phenomenal. Could not put it down. I needed to know what happened, and it was good. It was really good. So that being said, I rated it a 4 stars. It isn't quite my perfect novel, but it's getting pretty close for something that is in this sort of frame narrative prison sort of thing. This is actually the 3rd book that I've read in this. So as I said earlier, I read Alias Grace, but I also have read his Bloody Project, which is again very similar take on the person is in prison. Have they done it? Have they not done it? And then kind of a reveal at the end. So yes, this says an early Victorian Gothic on the front. Duh. I could have just read the front of the book to find out what era it took place in. But like the back says in other parts, it is a hugely atmospheric book. You do really feel like you've just been dropped in. I could see all of the places that they were talking about. I could see the people. So it was really great, and it was really a book that kind of sucks you in as well, which I, of course, enjoyed. So as I said, I read this 4 out of 5. Fantastic book. If you liked Alias Grace, I would definitely recommend this, and if you like that sort of style of narrative, I think it will also be good. If you like mysteries, this is the book for you. But that's all I have to say for this. Again, thank you to Chapters, who I work for, and Penguin for sending this to Chapters that I work at. And I hope you folks have a chance to pick this up, and if you do pick it up, I'd love to know whether or not you liked it. Please let me know in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching another episode of Arcs came out today, Arc Reviews, And if you haven't seen it, I did post another ARC review this morning of The Porpoise by Mark Haddon. I didn't like it as much as this one, which is why I posted it first. But if you're interested at all in that book, links up above and down below in the description box. But that's all for today. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you next time I have some arcs to review or in the next video that you happen to watch. Bye!